I had finally got the thing for me and my girlfriend that we both desired the most. I knew Emma would have the biggest smile on her face when I showed her I had finally snagged some tickets for Superstar Splash. Superstar Splash is a local water park in our area. Me and my girlfriend Emma have dreamed about going there all summer, but we have never been able to snag any type of tickets for it because they have either been too expensive or they were always sold out. I left the convenience store grateful that me and Emma had finally been able to go to our dream destination at a very cheap price. I got in my car and drove home, settling on the decision not to call Emma, so showing her the tickets would actually be more of a surprise. Once I got home, I left the tickets inside of my car as I brought the rest of the items we had needed inside. We only needed a few things, so that's why I drove to the convenience store right down the road instead of going to our local Walmart about 15 minutes away. After me and Emma had put the groceries inside, I told her that I had to get one more bag out of the car. I got the tickets and walked inside. Where's the bag, Steven? I didn't say anything. I just pulled the tickets out of my back pocket as Emma's eyes widened with joy, almost as if she was a child finally getting a puppy on Christmas Day. Oh my God, thank you, Steven. Me and Emma both went in for a hug, and we did have a little bit of a kiss too. We decided that we would leave on Friday, so that would give us 2 days to pack up. Also, that would work out for our jobs because conveniently, we're both off on the weekends. I was glad about this, so me and Emma didn't have to spare any days of work and get in trouble with our different bosses because we worked different jobs. After we had both calmed down a little bit after some TV, we decided to start packing. We packed up basic things, clothes, toothbrushes, chargers for our phones, and of course swimming trunks and towels and sunglasses, and after that, a few more necessities for us. Me and Emma both went to bed happy that night, happy that we were finally able to achieve our dream. Once I woke up early in the morning, I got ready for work. I made breakfast, got dressed, and brushed my teeth, trying to be as quiet as possible not to wake Emma up, who goes to work about an hour after me. I put on my construction boots and my vest, getting ready to continue work on the new apartment building in our city after the previous one was burned down due to arson. Maybe a man who got evicted and was pissed off. That's only a rumor that I've heard from my coworkers though, so I wouldn't want to believe that 100%. Once I got to work, I barely had any time to socialize with my colleagues because the day was just so busy. We mostly placed bricks on the frames and made sure that they were right because we didn't want this building to crumble to the ground as well. I finally got to chat with a good friend of mine, Terrence, at lunch break. I've been friends with Terrence since middle school. Terrence has always been obsessed with creepy shit since I met him. Every day he would tell me some creepy, scary tale which is likely false. He always acted like he believed in them, but I actually don't know if he actually did or actually thought that they were real. Probably not. I guess he was trying to scare me, but he always failed. When I finally met up with him on lunch, he of course told me another tale. This time he told me about some Chuck E. Cheese robot spitting some black fluid into a kid's mouth. It honestly sounded pretty stupid, and I told him in a joking manner, "Hey man, that sounds so fake. Don't tell me you came up with that. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you did." Terrence replied back with, "No, of course not. I didn't write it. I found it on a forum deep into the internet." I said, "Wow, I'm surprised." Terrence replied with, "Shut up, man. You believed my story in middle school, you know." I replied back with, "Yeah, whatever. Hey, let's just enjoy lunch. Also, I got me and Emma some tickets to Splash." Terrence had been there before, so he gave me that what to do and what not to do. Basically a guide of the place. "Hey man, you need to go to Super Splash Slide." I said, "Okay, me and Emma will try that." We continued to eat our lunch and then we got back to work. The rest of work went as well as you would expect. Then I drove home to Emma, who was awaiting my arrival. "Steven, you're home, guess what?" "What is it, babe?" I replied back. I packed all of your clothes and all of your things that you would need. And I also made dinner. Wow, thanks, Emma. Now let's go eat. We ate dinner, which was a nice juicy steak. Emma and I even shared a toast. We watched a movie later that night and then we drifted off to sleep. When we both woke up, we had the rush because we needed to be at Superstar Splash by 1 p.m. The drive was about 3 hours and we needed about an hour to get dressed, load everything into the car, and get out of the door, so we would probably have to get up around 9 a.m. Once we got up at 9, we practically stuffed everything into that car while simultaneously brushing our teeth and getting dressed. Once we did a sweep that we had everything for probably the third time, we set off for the water park. Me and Emma just listened to the radio and talked about random things that we were having on our mind at the time. Emma even got the luxury to sleep in the car while I was stuck in the driver's seat sipping my warm coffee from the random gas station along the way. Once we finally pulled up, I couldn't help but just stare at the basque of the array of colors and the tubes that were the water slides. I woke Emma up and we headed to the front gates. I tell you, the line was long. I'd say we probably waited about 45 minutes, and by the time me and Emma got to the front gates, I glanced behind me and saw that the line was even longer than it was when me and Emma entered the line. I got our tickets verified and our wristbands, so we were now allowed to go into the park. So, we did. We got a key to our locker and went into the bathrooms. We got our swimming trunks on out of the duffel bag, and we exited the bathroom. I put the bag into the locker, and me and Emma ran around the water park, hitting up ride to ride like a child on Christmas running to the Christmas tree. And then I remembered about the Super Splash slide. I told Emma about it, but she wanted to go to the lazy river. The lazy river was right next to the Super Splash slide, so I didn't see any harm into going into the lazy river first. During the ride, as we just relaxed, I couldn't help but notice how crowded the lazy river was and the amount of people gliding along me and Emma. Once we got to this one section inside of the indoor tunnel, there were tiki statues everywhere. At least that's what I thought it was. I decided to lean over and kiss Emma, but when I did lean over, Emma lost her balance and fell out of the raft. I instinctively jumped out of the raft to find her and get her back up onto the surface. I opened my eyes underwater, trying to locate Emma, but I kept bumping my head on some other rafts and other people in the lazy river. I eventually located Emma, who looked like she was unconscious. I saw she was holding her head and I assumed that she was hurt. She was moving so I could tell that she was not unconscious. But then I saw something that changed my life forever. I saw a hand open the cap of a drain and moved over Emma. The hand looked black, almost like as if it was rotted or for a very long time. I saw another hand come out of the drain, and another, and another. They all grabbed a hold of Emma and dragged her into the drain. "Oh God, help me! Stephen, help! Somebody!" I swam over to her, but then I stopped when I saw the drain abnormally stretch as more and more of those hands rose as Emma was dragged into the drain. I swam over to her again, but it was too late. The drain had stretched back into its normal size, and one last hand popped the lid back on as I heard Emma's screams get quieter and quieter. It was almost as if nothing had ever happened at all. My first instinct was to go get help. There was no way in hell I would be going inside the drain alone. I popped up out of the water, gasping for air. I swam over to a man and said, "Help! Please! My girlfriend needs help, please!" The man was a large man, very overweight. He just said, "Hey kid, I don't have time for this." I was in a state where I was half panicked and half angry. I told him, "You aren't gonna help me, fat fuck?" I think he heard me, but he was probably too lazy to even get off of his tube. I just got to the edge of the lazy river and ran off. I ran straight to the security office and busted through the door. "Please, I need help." My girlfriend needs help. Can you help me? Something dragged her into the fucking drain in Lazy River." The officer said, "Okay, I'll come help." He sounded confused, but he was willing to help. The Lazy River was closed down, and everyone was cleared out. After the cops came and checked, they confirmed that everything was okay, and that there was no evidence that anything came from the drain, and took my girlfriend in. One of the officers asked me, "Have you been drinking, son?" No, sir." "All right, kid. It's best you get some rest." After that, I just left the water park and went to a hotel that me and Emma had booked. I just got to the room and sat on the bed, wondering if what I saw was actually a dream or a vision, or if my existence was real at all. I left the hotel room the next day with all of mine and Emma's belongings. I didn't call Emma's parents because I didn't see the point in that. I really was just bent on if I was even real. Once I got home, I just unpacked everything, and I acted like everything was normal, like it used to be. I didn't show up to work at all that week. I just stayed home, eating, drinking, and sleeping. I got constant calls on my phone, which I assumed were my colleagues. I didn't answer any of the calls because I just felt like they would eventually forget about me, and I could just fade away, just like Emma did. A week after the week I didn't go to work, I checked my mailbox to see that I had gotten a termination notice from my job. I didn't even care at this point. I remember one night that I decided to surf the web. I looked up the history of Superstar Splash. Nothing. I looked up something about the Lazy River and Superstar Splash. Nothing once again. Now I looked up something about the drain inside the Lazy River of Superstar Splash. Nothing, yet again. I scrolled through the endless pages to see if anyone had any type of experience even remotely similar to mine. Nothing. Mostly the results were just people complimenting the water park and saying how they loved going there and that they were definitely going to go again. I decided that I would have to get my answers myself. The next day, I got dressed in swimming trunks and drove off to Superstar Splash. I didn't stop all the way there. Not for gas or coffee. I was awake because I was finally going to see Emma again after almost 3 weeks. The car slowed down as I stopped in the parking lot. As I got out of the car and headed towards Superstar Splash, I walked up to the gate and I waited in line for what I presume was about 2 hours. I don't actually know if that's true because after Emma was taken, I completely lost track of time. Once I actually got to the front, I bought a ticket on the spot and was given my wristband. I went straight to the Lazy River and got in the raft. Once we reached the Tiki Tunnel, I jumped out and swam to the drain. I just sat there bobbing up and down until I heard Emma's voice. "Hello? Steven?" I said back, "Hey babe, I'm back." Then a black hand popped out at the top of the drain and was going to grab me. I was about to grab it when I hesitated. I decided that, I can't believe it, but after these 3 weeks, I wanted to actually live, move on with my life. But then I thought that me and Emma never got to go to Superstar Splash Slide, as I promised. But before I could say anything, more hands popped out of the drain and grabbed me. I was pulled down as the drain stretched, and more hands grabbed me. Once I hit the floor, I was unconscious. Once I awoke, I looked around to see corpses all around me. They were corpses, but they were living. One of them walked up to me, picked me up, and called out, "We got a new guy here." Someone came out of the dark shadows. It was Emma. She was starting to rot and smell foul, but that was her all right. She grabbed my hand and we walked into the darkness. These past few weeks here, I have learned a lot. There are a lot of people around, young and old. Some people here were new here, and they just started to decompose. Other people have long decomposed, but forced to still be alive. At first, I thought this place had brought me peace, but now I have started decomposing myself. I can't take it here. I can't starve. I can't dehydrate. I can't get out. I can't die, but I still feel every single bit of pain. And let me tell you, having your own fucking body rot right before your eyes while you feel every bit of the pain is not pleasant, to say the least. And if this is not hell, then I'll be damned. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed how it was a very thorough story. Like, you actually had a lot of stuff happening, and it all starts off hunky-dory. Yeah, let's go to a water park and have some fun. Yep, no, apparently not. But if you enjoyed this and you would like to see more, make sure to like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We've got a lot of content, a lot more coming, so just know that. But make sure to check out the links in the description as well, like Twitter, Instagram, everything like that is in there. And my Gmail if you want to submit a story. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this, because it was pretty fun to read. But with that being said, stay safe, stay scary, and I'll see you in the next one.